So somebody just asked for a tour. Oh, my dog just started barking. Of my kitten room. So I'm gonna do a little tour. Here it is. The kittens live in different areas depending on their age. So I'll start over here. So these I bought not too long ago, this year I think. They're awesome. I just love it because it keeps them contained. So they live in here. Obviously it's set up a little bit different than it would be if kittens were exclusively staying in here, but they would live in this area if they were about 4 to maybe 5 weeks old. It's also in there is where I would put a pregnant mom. I mean, I wouldn't keep her in there. I would set it up for her to have an option to give birth in there. I would probably cover up most of it so that she had a nice place to give birth. I would have a couple different options for moms who are going to give birth. Here's one of our new kittens. And then as we come over here, just, different things you'll see. That's litter box stuff, like a scoop and bags and stuff. This is where I keep medicines, cleaning supplies, disinfectant, just that kind of stuff. Paper towels. These are because, kittens unraveled, so we don't want to waste them. I love my refrigerator, so kittens have to be, oh, this is garbage. Kittens have to be on amoxicillin sometimes. That has to be refrigerated, or, different foods, cans of foods, partial cans of foods. We'll just toss this. And then we have a fireplace, a faux fireplace to keep them cozy. And of course a TV. So then we have just different, toys and stuff, trees for them to lay on. Nice window. This is my prized possession, my incubator. So they would live in here 0 to about 3 weeks. They start wanting out. So they would stay in here about 0 to 3 weeks if they were orphans. And this keeps them at a really nice, perfect temperature. Kittens under 4 weeks cannot regulate their body temperature, so they have to stay at a certain, the air has to be a certain temperature. So this just does a really good job with that. And I just love this. I'm still paying for it. Very expensive. This is where I feed them. This is a microwave to heat up the bottles if they are bottle babies. Food down here. Different food, different toys, dry food. This is where they eat. This is what they got delivered in. I'll show you the closet. I'm pretty proud of my blanket collection. So these are all the blankets. These ones are all reusable pee pads, which I really love. Bigger blankets down here. Big pee pads in case I wanted to put that, in that area for them. And then smaller blankets up here. We have a bunch of supplies up here. Actually, let's start here. This is all different beds squished in there. Up here we have extra toys, some extra beds, tunnels, just all that kind of stuff. And then over here, there's just different supplies in here. So we have, I think there's pee pads in here. This is full of toys, new toys. And this is like the litter box area stuff. So we have different kinds of litter. This is for if they are older, the clay litter, non-clumping, of course. And then that's for when they're tiny babies. Boxes to be used as litter boxes. I don't have a lot in here right now. I have different syringes just in case they're needed. So a bunch of different size of syringes. There's just random stuff in here. I think this is garbage bags and stuff. So yeah, that is the room in a nutshell. This is where I sit and watch them because, kittens are super entertaining. Have to sweep a lot. So yeah, these are, I'm about 100 behind, but these are some of the fosters that I've had. But yeah, I got pretty behind with that. Here's 2024, 2025 babies. These are the 3 babies that I lost last year, the only 3 I've lost, but the shelter made me these nice paw prints, so that was so sweet of them. I keep this on at night for them, especially when they're brand new, so that they can see everything, you know, see where they are if it's new. But yeah, that's the room in a nutshell. I have spent a lot of time on it. I love it. I also didn't say that when they are about 5 or 6 weeks old, then they have access to the whole room to play. And then when they are, you know, at least pretty darn potty trained, then they can come out here, which is where you guys see them on videos, and they can have access to this whole area. And yeah, there's my old man cat. But yeah, that is my foster area.